and today we're gonna be reviewing my car, the Mercedes Benz GLE 350. This review is not for the people that love cars. If you just want to see the car and all the specs and all of that, this is not the review for you. This review is from the point of view of dog owners, especially for us that have really large dogs. We have two Malamutes, and traveling with them is an adventure. We love traveling. We travel with them a lot. We love to go on hikes. We love to go on exploring adventures. And I want to review it to see if this is the perfect adventure car for large dogs. Let's start by starting the car. You could do it with the push of the button, or you could use the key like you will use it in a normal car. Our old 4Runner, you only had the chance to use it with the key. So we also like to use the key sometimes. I love the come with Apple CarPlay. The only complaint that I have is not wireless, so you have to use a cable if you want to connect your phone. It's not touchscreen, so for you to change it, you have to use this dial here. In this second screen, you will have all your apps, like the Mercedes app or podcasts, audiobooks, all of the things that you will need. To be honest, for this, I only go to the Mercedes app when I want to change some of the settings, like in here, or if I want to put the normal radio, which I barely do. I like to hear my Apple Music, but here and there, if I want to hear the regular radio, I will use that, but mostly I go to the app of the Mercedes to change the settings of the car. And if you press media, it goes back to Apple CarPlay if you want to leave the Mercedes app. Let's do a quick overlook to all the different settings that we could have here. But like I said, this is not a car detail review. This is mostly to show you what the car have, but is more from the point of view of a dog owner, not for the cars, because honestly, I don't know what a lot of these things do. When I first got the car a couple years ago, I did use all these settings, but right now I never touch them. The one that always like to play with settings is Jay. He like technology and he like cars. But I wanted to show you all the different options that the car have, like that you have in mind what you're getting into it if you decide to go with the Mercedes GLE 350. While I love the dual AC, I wish it was a 3-climate AC for the dogs to have their own in the back. We keep it in max cool most of the time when they're in the car, but as you could probably hear, it's very loud. I'm gonna take it off so you could see the difference when we take it off from max cool. The sound is noticeable, especially if you're in the phone or if you're like recording a video like us. The car have this really fancy looking wooden panel, and if you could look really close, it have a crack on it already from Venus stomping on it. She sometimes when sit on the front put her paw on there like when the car is moving. But the wood is have like a plasticky resin material, and that's what it crack. The steering wheel is pretty basic. It have all the little buttons for the menu, to pick up the phone, talk to Siri, put the up and down the volume and all of that jazz. Now let's talk to one of the most important things, the gas economy. This car is so economical. I really love how economical it is compared to the 4Runner and compared to all the other cars that we ever had before. We can do the full state of Florida from south to north in one tank of gas, which is amazing. The minimum octane while pumping gas is 91, but here in the south we barely get 91. We normally get 87, 89, and 93, so we always choose 93. Also have the option to use ethanol, but we have never used the ethanol. We always choose just premium. Another big complaint that I have is the AC unit is only here in the middle, in the back. There's no vent in the roof or in the panels, just here in the middle. So when we fold the chairs down, it covered this, so we have to cool the cabin really cold for the dogs to be fine in the back. The last time that we went on a road trip, we went to Jacksonville, and I was sitting here in the back with Venus and Apollo, and it actually gets really cold. I had to stop and get a blanket, but this is something to have in mind. The AC unit is right here in the middle, and there's no vents on the back, which in my next car I will really want to have that. I think this was supposed to be an ashtray or a cubby, I'm not sure, but it's for poop bags for us. And down here we have a 12-volt charger for your phone. It may sound silly, but I actually love the rug of Mercedes. After having cars from different few brands, Toyota, Chevrolet, Ford, and Mercedes, these are the best rugs to clean. We always have dog hair, that's happen when you have really large dogs, but these ones are the easiest by far to clean. With just the blower or just the vacuum cleaner, they clean perfectly, versus the one in the 4Runner we had to work a lot more, and the one in the dually in the Ford F350, that one also, the rug is better than the 4Runner, but not as good as here in the Mercedes. When we are driving with the dogs, we try to keep the sunroof closed, but here and there we need to open it to let some of the cold air out because we are freezing. We try to keep the car as cold as possible when they are with us, and the sunroof is a lifesaver from time to time. I wanted to keep the elegant look of the Mercedes, so I didn't want to add a bulky roof rack like the one we had put in the 4Runner. But when we're traveling with Venus and Apollo on road trips, I want to give them all the 80 square footage of cargo space in the back for them to lay down. So we add a basket on the back like that. They have the space inside, but we could put our bags and things that we're traveling with. We keep the domestic fridge inside because it has to be plugged. Venus and Apollo, they eat raw meat, so we need a fridge for them. With the seats up, they only have 23 cubic feet of area. If we put down the two seats, they will have then 60 cubic feet with one seat up. And when we put that seat down, they get the all 80 cubic feet. Malamutes and large breeds in general, they tend to get hip dysplasia when they're older. So it's very important to know how tall the SUV is, and from the ground to the tailgate is 28 inches, which for Venus and Apollo at this age is perfect. I love how easy it is to close the gate with just one button. Our old SUV didn't have it, and when you have two dogs in one hand, it's very handy. It also opens very easily, you don't have to push it up, which make my job a lot easier for them to get in and out. Talking about going in and out, if you're pulling something in the back and you have bags or whatever that you cannot access the back door, if they have to go through one of the doors, it's not super high either. Venus have a little more difficult than Apollo, but Apollo could jump pretty easily. Venus, she need a little bit of reinforcement. Overall, it's a really comfortable car, especially for us and the type of activities that we do. But also, I'm a huge Mercedes fangirl. Not only because it's my car and I really like my car, but also because we follow F1 and we like to go to the Grand Prix. We have gone to two already, and we are Team Mercedes. So I'm really happy to have a Mercedes car in my house.